Go back. Take it back. I will stop talking. All right.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming out here tonight. This is the ML at Purdue Launch event. Very excited to show you guys what we've been working on. Officer team has been very hard at work trying to get this going. Great. So let's get started. So I think you guys are all know why you're here. We're transitioning from SIG AI to ML at Purdue. So I just want to give you guys some of the history and some of the context of why we're doing this first and foremost. So first of all, SIG AI began as a subclub of the ACM sometime in 2010 to build side projects in AI. And at this point, AI was getting off the ground. It was getting a little bit more popular, but it was still very much so a CS thing. Club members before 2018 were really just like 10 people max, and they did some pretty basic projects in like document reconstruction, chess AI, snake AI. These are kind of what you would see beginner projects are in our group today. So as AI grew a lot more popular, you saw like DeepMind coming out, ChatGPT, things like this. We got a lot more demand for an AI club at Purdue, and we saw a lot more people coming to our callouts and trying to join a project. So in fall 2022, we had about 120 people come out. In spring 2023, we had about 50. So the club officers and we had a question, right? How do we support all these new people coming in and who are passionate about AI and ML, right? We have 5 or 6 projects that happen every single year, and we wanted to expand the club to fit all these people that come in. So SIG AI has been the same since 2010, right? We've had our project leaders, our project members, and our officers. Our officers really just help with events, maybe sometimes contribute to picking out a project manager, and project managers just pick out their project members, right? So in 2020, we started expanding to have multiple project managers, and we've expanded to 50 members today from 10. Right. So
cool. Yeah. So first off, as you guys realize with past career with ChatGPT, AI is huge, right? There's no one in our like daily lives that doesn't interact with a direct architecture or model within like the past 6 hours or so. But if that's the case, why does the largest AI club at Purdue have like 50 members-ish max, right? And there's a couple of things that need to change structurally in order for us to actually grow. I know we said it's a big thing on our mind, and those are the things that we're thinking about right now. We need a strong structure. We need things where our departments and people that want to work support us, and we need things like marketing, actual vision for projects, and just more support all around. So the last thing is, why is it only a CS club? Like we said before, we spawned off the ACM, Association for Computing Machinery, which is a CS specific club. It was started 2010, and the ACM is back from the 90s. So it's kept the same structure for a while. But as you notice, the people that are using AI aren't just CS people, like the majority of people in this room. It's a lot bigger than that now, right? Just to give you examples of how the AI community of Purdue is growing, as you can see at the first bullet point, Professor Koshalgu, who I did research with last semester, just won an NSF career grant for his work in causality. And arguably more importantly, a Polytech group is won a proposal for the Alexa Grant Challenge with members right in front of you, right? So with this sort of idea, why is it that Purdue X department has really good AI like ECE or CS or Polytech instead of Purdue has good AI research period? And that's what we plan to answer today. So the general vision of what we want to do with ML at Purdue is provide like the ecosystem and a support for anyone that wants to get involved in AI, whether that's in the industry, whether that's with research, or like a startup, entrepreneurial. We want to actually serve students and just anyone that wants to lead with AI and ML at Purdue. Like we said before, we kind of were spread thin across a bunch of different departments. We want to combine that into one big ecosystem. Cool. Last thing, there are a couple of things we need to do before we actually take off. First thing that the new club has to do is actually become a club. Don't worry, we'll get some SAO paperwork done by this weekend, but just know that ML at Purdue, is the new club that you will associate with. There's a test run of stuff that we're doing. We'll talk about this later, but as you can probably tell if you've been associated, stuff like reading group, workshops, all these things that are different than just, oh, here's a machine learning project, is what we plan on testing off before we completely take off next semester. We're growing our structure and we're getting sponsors. we'll do a lot more initiatives before we're completely done with this semester. Cool. Want to take over?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So our first thing that we're doing with ML at Purdue versus SIG-AI is restructuring all the officers. So previously, the way that the officer structure worked at SIG-AI is you have a president, you have a VP, you have a treasurer, and then you have a bunch of free-floating officers, right? This doesn't really support all of the different initiatives that we want. So we've restructured all the officers into these 4 branches. So we have an executive branch that's going to be RF&I, and we'll go through all these later. Those are long-term visions of the club, and they start long-term initiatives in AI. We have our marketing, which runs all the outreach, the marketing, and the website. Our finance, which runs all the finances, and all the operations people, which run the events and projects.
Cool. Any introductions? Just
Sure. So I'm Jacob. Hopefully most of you have met me before. I do robotics and NLP research. I'm your president for this term.
cool. I'm RF. I'm your vice president for this term, also a junior in CS. I do AI, and recently I've been doing augmented reality. And my fun fact is that I'm terrible at freestyle, but I just do it with my friends from high school. The last person that you will hopefully eventually meet is Professor Coricello. He's a technically professor of BME, but he's been very involved in the AI community at Purdue. Like I said there, he has experience as a researcher, as an entrepreneur with a startup that got acquired by Micron, and just a general engineer.
Right. And we also felt like he was a great club advisor because he has the same vision as us, right? He saw Purdue from the lens of a BME professor, right? He had all these AI ideas when he came in, and he saw that AI isn't just in the CS department, right? And all these departments don't want to work together. So we wanted a club so that students can all work together from different departments. Cool.
Go
ahead.
Yeah. These are our new marketing people. Shravani, if you want to stand up just to say hello. That's Shravani. She's my social media head. She was part of the music generation team last year with Ananya also. And Shravani. The VP of marketing is Samiha. She does the time series forecasting project right now. She's also done some more blog posts, and she's very active. So feel free to reach out.
Yeah, and if you are a project manager, you'll hear from her a lot when we're trying to promote your stuff. Cool. The VP, yeah, you want to stand up?
Hello, I'm the VP of Finance for Treasurer. Sophomore that we're leaving at CS. So excited like first we actually getting into coding or not coding, but getting into AI and stuff. So I remember the
Thank you, Addie. Then we have our massive operations branch, which is kind of what you would call the previous officers of SIG-AI, where we have a bunch of people just running the day-to-day. So we have our chief project advisor, Jinan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I will be serving as the chief project advisor for this semester. My goal with regards to whatever you would call this is effectively trying to tackle any technical roadblocks that you have in any of your projects. And I love, diving into the technical details of a given challenge and try to resolve that the best I can. So in case at any point in time, in any of the projects you need help, feel free to reach out. I should have included contact information, but if you ping the Discord, you'll probably find me.
Wonderful. And we have our head of reading group, Ananya. If you want to wave or introduce yourself, that's Ananya.
Okay.
Wonderful. We have our head of education who will be spearheading our beginner workshops, Ridvik. Damn, that's crazy.
That is awesome.
That's been 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right, well, so no one can watch this later. We got Ridvik, who is not here today. We have Anna, who was our previous president. Hello. We have Saad, who is at Tesla right now in better weather. We have Stanley, who is also not here, and Sagar. Wonderful. So this is our officer team. We're looking to expand, hopefully you three as well, in the near future. Speaking of expanding, we're hoping to expand to about 20 to 25 officers by the end of the school year to support 100+ members for next recruitment season. So like I said, currently we have about 50 active project members. We're hoping to double in size or even go beyond that with the number of projects that we're going to support and the number of people who can actually enter projects. So something you guys might not have seen if you're a club member is a lot of our projects have been splitting up into sub projects. So Sagar's project, for instance, now has 3 branches of 5 people. Whereas previously in SIG-AI, we would have just done like 10 people and no one would do anything, right? So we're trying to split up all these projects and create new projects to have a lot more people be able to contribute. Cool. So we'll have applications out soon. We're gonna have roles open for every part of the club. So if you're interested, talk to us afterwards or just wait for the applications to come out.
General part of the restructuring is that the idea of what you have in the project might change. As you saw before, everything was just like, here's something we can do with AI. Okay, let's go, right? So we're planning on dividing it up so that we can efficiently tackle our 3 branches of our vision, which is research, industry, and entrepreneurship, as you can see right there. So let's kind of break down what each one goes into. Cool. Quick thing with industry, when we talked with Eugenio, he was saying that one of the most important things a club can do is have a cycle between industry and research, in the sense that all your best researchers will eventually turn their research into development ideas, which is exactly what he did. He was a PhD. He had a really novel way to do neural networks with hardware, and he converted that into a business, which was acquired, and then he became a researcher again. So as far as applications, you really want to be able to have your project teams achieve things. And we've had that in the past. Janan can tell you, as part of the TAI team, he has a patent under the competitions for a novel way to do a detection, right?
Image classification.
Image classification, right? And then not only that, I think he also won best innovation, right? So there's success there. And then on the other team, Grant, right, was also placed in the top 10% of like CME's like algo training competition. It was their very first competition. So here's a couple people that are completely new to the space that took over. But like I said, people that know how to use research knowledge and apply it can go far. And that's what we're trying to support.
Yeah, and we're also looking to expand all of our industry sponsors and stuff like that. So if you look at clubs similar to like ML at Berkeley, they have like a consulting industry branch where they work directly with industry partners to like build something for them, kind of similar to DataMine in a way where they'll take something that they don't want to do and the students will handle all that.
Second thing, like we said before, the other aspect of the cycle, hold on, projection check, good. Okay, research, right? Obviously, it's most important, like we said before, some of our professors and even people that you know start their startups as research ideas and come back to them pretty often. We always wanted, as the general people that are curious, to have a research-based community. For us, Jacob and I did Vex last year, as well as Nicholas, who leads the team now, right? We actually had a preprint about how we did a novel approach to training, path planning, and just the whole robotics department on a Vex robot. Also, Sagar was a part of it. Sorry about that. And this semester, Michael, you can wave. Right, Michael's leading the wildfires team, which is a branch joint project between NASA and, I believe, the physics department. Or science department, I apologize. Right, just to develop a new way of like wildfire detection. Right, so like I said before, like just integrating a lot of the people that you hear, the big names in research from ECE, Polytech, CS, whatever, right? Bringing that together and having something where us as students can get all that like large talent pool, that's kind of what we want to do. And that's what we're trying to support right now. Cool. Last thing was just entrepreneurial. This part is in the works still. We're working with Anvil in order to actually have people that want to launch their AI startups have the support, obviously on the technical side from us, but also have the business aspect kind of come together all in one, like we said before. Eugenio will be great for this, like we said before, because he's launched a startup and was successful with it, and he's a very accessible resource.
Yeah, and Eugenio, that was his main reason for coming back to Purdue after his startup was acquired, is actually just to help the Purdue community build startups, right? So he's going to be a great addition to our entrepreneurial branch for leading new people. Cool. And yeah, awesome. So in terms of other initiatives that non-project members can do, we started focusing a lot more on beginners. This is something that we in the fall made a decision to not do. We just wanted to make all the projects very selective, and now we're coming back and opening it back up again. So Redfig is going to be leading beginner workshops starting next Wednesday in Python basics that goes all the way to building a simple neural network, if I recall correctly. So it'll be fully comprehensive end to end. And anyone who's just getting started with ML and things like that, please attend, and I think it'll be a worthwhile experience. Cool. And reading group changes. So we host a reading group every single Tuesday where we invite a speaker to present a paper. It's been going pretty well, but our attendance has been dropping off. So we sent out a survey to ask what you guys would like to see. So we heard you. We're going to start inviting guest speakers that are from industry and from laboratories at Purdue to present instead of just undergraduate students. So hopefully this will let you see what researchers are doing at Purdue and connect you to these labs, as well as just seeing how AI is applied to different domains.
Cool, yeah. Last thing that you guys might have noticed, we do blog posts now, and the reason why we wanted to do that is because you guys might have realized as you guys have seen research papers and people that are interpreting it. It seems pretty unfair that us as students are trying to figure it out. How does this stuff work? And it's all written with grad level calculus. So we wanted to make it a little bit more approachable and just kind of break down what we think is interesting and do something by students for students. Last week's was Ananias on n-grams, which I really liked because I have a pretty small NLP experience, but made it really accessible. Anyways, if you have any questions about this, let us know. If you want to write one, also talk to us.
Wonderful. And another big change that we're going to do is we're approaching how projects are starting and how project members can join. So previously we were super selective starting in the fall and also in our spring call out. And this is really good for all the successful teams who just wanted to keep going, right? But if we want to support all the people coming in from ECE, BME, ME, who might not have great coding experience, we need to let people who are passionate try their hand at ML and see who sticks, right? We have to widen the funnel and let people join the club and see how they do, right? So if we want to support anyone, we need to fit project members into a project at any time. So that's kind of our long-term goal, is to make all the projects accessible enough where anyone can join, try it out, and if they don't like it, they can leave. But for now, projects are able to admit at will. I think all the projects are closed at the moment, but we told project managers that they can open it up at any time. And it's open to anyone who's passionate about the subject.
Okay, last thing.
Yeah,
Last big thing that we're trying to get off, Janan, I, and Jacob are trying to associate a big DAGSHUB competition. DAGSHUB is if I can explain correctly.
You want to go?
Yeah,
Go for it.
So DAGSHUB is basically an MLOps platform. We're basically building GitHub for data science. Currently, big projects, when back in the day where SVM was just getting started, a lot of projects were built, put in zip files, and that was the end of that. There was no sort of version control, and it was a complete mess, right? Git comes in and changes the entire scene. It brings structure to the picture. And that same sort of dawn is what we're experiencing with ML right now to a certain extent, where all of the research that is done in Jupyter notebooks, and you package it and you submit it, and that's that, right? A lot of companies use Jupyter notebooks to host entire research projects. And that is one way of doing things, but it is nowhere close to the best. And it, especially for stuff like research, where reproducibility is important, it basically becomes very critical to use MLOps tools in a way that allows you to build research that is scalable and sensible, and not just a Jupyter notebook. So as part of expanding that reproducibility outlook that is very important, we, along with ML at Purdue, basically the two of us are going to work together to host a month-long competition where we give you a pool of papers that are really interesting but do not